Oh, jeepers.
Oh, so
yeah! Two different reactions there, aren't there?
I'm so sorry, everybody at home. I'm so sorry.
We had to win this!
We knew that.
The scowl on Shay's face towards you just
It's always
makes it even better.
There's always two sides to every story, isn't it? The sadness of conceding a late winner, and of course the joy that it brought to Righty's face.
I'm just really pleased with the guys who I work here with on a regular basis last season when they see how I act. But it's not for anything other than pure joy, because we needed to win this game so badly, Steve.
So let's get serious a minute.
Yes.
I mean, that's the type of thing champions do, isn't it, really?
Well, I think you look at last season, there were so many opportunities where Liverpool, we had to get into a game where you put pressure on Liverpool for something. We either drew the game.
Yeah, they couldn't do it, could they?
We couldn't do it. We'd never done too many. I think the last time we'd done anything like this where we needed to win something in the death, I think it was Bournemouth a few seasons ago. But this is a game where we went in and I think we started very well. We had chances. But once they went 1-0 up, it was a game we had to play back in and get ourselves back into the game, make sure we don't lose it, and if we can, win it, because that's what we have to do to send the message to whoever's at the top, that we're not going to go away and we will dig in as far as we need to win these games to try and win this league finally.
Yeah, that will have been severely noted on Merseyside.
Absolutely, because what you want them to, what the message you want to give them is, you know, we're coming and we're going to be here. So yes, you're 5 points clear, but now you're 2. You lost your game against Palace. We have to now take advantage of that, and we've done that. That's why even if a point would have been a little bit, it wouldn't have been enough for me, even though you'd have to take it. 3 points is what we needed to do today, and I'm just hoping that in that dressing room they realise that, how important it is to make sure that they take advantage of these slip-ups if they do happen.
If you're in the Newcastle dressing room, though, having seen it happen against Liverpool and then against Arsenal, to take nothing from the game, having given all that effort, it'll be a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, it'll be very tough when you see Eddie walking around the pitch after. I think that's the frustration. You know, Arsenal have got quality all over their squad, they have, and they're good enough to open you up, Steve, and play an amazing goal. But the frustration thing is, and they work at attacking corners, but they work at defensive side of things as well. And that's the most frustrating thing. You know, we spoke about Eze and Cole beforehand. Odegaard comes off the bench. Some brilliant players, haven't they, Arsenal? And they can open you up and you go, we were beaten by a better team. They were a better team today, but we were beaten by an unbelievable goal. There's not much we could have done about that. But it's so frustrating that it feels just like a comfortable enough delivery into the box. Gabriel heads it in, and it's as you say, all that hard work, you know, and effort, and I think Tino Livramento looked like a bad injury as well. So it's a tough day for Newcastle to concede so late.
You know, the bench as well for us, Shay. The bench is vital for us and what we're going to try and achieve this season. And we've already seen on a few occasions, we've seen Martinelli, we've seen Trossard, we've seen Marino now. They're coming off the bench and they're making a difference. Odegaard coming off the bench making a difference. We're able to now be able to take someone like Saka off and bring Martinelli on, and, you know, people making differences off the bench. And that's what it's going to probably take. It's going to take that for us. And sometimes the manager's going to get the selection right, but then he's got the players on the bench where he can maybe change it around. And I think people need to have a little bit more patience with some of the decisions the manager makes and see once it's done if the players can justify the decisions he's made so as we can win games.
Yeah, because with that squad depth that he wants comes added issues and problems, doesn't it, in terms of getting the right 11 for each game. Yeah,
and pressure as well, because like there's a lot of talk now with people, with the manager saying, well, you've got the team you want. You spent a lot of money to get this team and assemble this team. We're talking about it, Shay. So now there's not too many more chances you can get in respect of making it happen with a squad that's capable of doing it. So he's now got to manoeuvre those players and get them into the position, whether they're playing off, coming off the bench, to deliver when they come on, because this is the year, I think, to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an unbelievable squad, and I think you maybe hit the nail on the head there, Steve, when you said about sometimes it's nearly easy to pick the first 11, but it's the 5 or 6, you're looking at the bench, you're looking at 5 or 6 full internationals. You have to say to him, by the way, you're not playing this week in a big game at Newcastle, or when Liverpool comes, or whatever game it is. So again, sometimes man management skills will be tested this year at Arteta, because he's built such a big, strong squad, and then awkward conversations he's going to have with the people he leaves on the bench. But again, he changed the names to subs. So we used to call them super subs back in the day. Now he calls them finishers. And I'm nearly buying into it myself. No, it's true, but because the guys are coming off the bench and they are making a difference. Martinelli, we've seen in the last couple of weeks, you know, coming off the bench.
And he still didn't get a start today.
And he still didn't get a start, but he's saying it gives him a belief that they can do something when they do come off the bench.
Let's go to St James's Park and talk to the man who was back, and he led Arsenal out with that captain's armband on today. Bukayo Saka is joining us. Bukayo, very well done. We're all saying that feels hugely significant, that Gabriel goal. Does it to you?
Yeah, it feels massive, coming here in the recent years, things have kind of gone against us results-wise and obviously decision-wise, and, there was a feeling that it could go that way again today, but, in the end, we brought it back, so it's a massive win.
Makayo, Ian, I just wanted to say, yes, man, I'm smiling. I just wanted to say at half-time, what was the boss saying? Because I was saying that not to panic, let's just stay, we're playing well. What did the boss say?
Yeah, it was exactly that, we were completely on top of them, dominating them. I think they had one chance and they scored it, and, in these games it's not just enough to control, we have to be a bit more clinical and take our chances, which is what we tried to do in the second half.
And yet another goal from a corner. 36, I think it is, since the start of last season. I mean, it's some unbelievable record. And the delivery, Bukayo, each time.
Yeah, well, it's something we work on because we know how important it can be, and today it won us the game, so we're more than happy.
Yeah, Declan's ball for the equaliser. Martin Ødegaard's for that one.
Yeah, beautiful scenes, man.
Yeah, if you're an Arsenal player, I mean, Newcastle's a tough place to come, Bukayo, and of course that's proven in the last couple of years. So even the psychological side of it, you guys going up there today and winning after Liverpool losing last night must be big for you guys.
Yeah, of course we know the Premier League's a long season, and all the big teams will drop points along the way. We just have to focus on ourselves, and today we got the job done, and that's all we can continue to focus on.
And talking about dropping points, I mean, we're only so early into the season, but when Liverpool have a blip like yesterday, does that add to the determination before the game today to make them pay and do your job?
Yeah, in the back of our minds, we know that. I'm not going to lie and say that. We're not aware of that. But of course, we know, like I said, it's a long season and it's still very, very early. So it's just about staying there, staying in around it, and just winning games. That's all our focus is right now.
And what does it do to the belief when you keep going in a game like this and get your rewards so late on yet again?
Yeah, we need that. It's something, we try to do, especially when we're down in a game. We want that belief. We want to believe that we can score at any moment, whether it's the first or last minute. And today's going to give us a massive belief. And yeah, we're going to be really happy with that. And hopefully, we can win games earlier. But if we have to do it again, we can do it because we've shown it.
You have indeed. Well done. Great win. Safe travel home.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Captain.
Cheers, Ratty.
There's that big smile, almost as big as yours. I mean, he talks like he plays as well, doesn't he, Bukayo?
Yeah.
Because his influence, as you said right from the off, when he's in, he's the talisman.
Yeah. And the thing is that, because you don't see it too often, as him coming off the pitch when he's not injured, coming off the pitch is always, it used to be something where you feel you're a little bit, oh no, Bukayo's going off. But now, like I say, with the bench we've gotten, with the belief that the guys now have, even when Bukayo goes off, we still feel like we've got enough on the pitch to create. I thought Martin Ødegaard came on and I thought he was really busy, he was really sharp, and he was really moving the ball around, kept it in that 10 area.
But getting back to our previous point, he'll be one of those who feels he should be playing. He's normally been a starter.
Well, the thing is, he's our captain. You like to think that when he's properly fit, he will probably start somewhere. But then what you want is the team to continue to play well enough where then Mikel has got a problem in who he picks. And whoever's coming off the bench they have to contribute so as they can stay in the team or play in the team.
For Newcastle, it's still just one league win all season. Finding that's a concern?
It's starting to get a concern, yeah. You've seen the table before, you think Aston Villa have a really poor start, but they're equal in points now with Newcastle. So, again, it's a frustration. I don't think they're playing that bad. I think Eddie mentioned last week about it's a transitional time for the new players to settle in, get into the team. But we know the Premier League is a tough league, Steve. They'll want to get ambitions to get back into the Champions League. And the longer these points keep slipping away and that more wins don't come, then it'll be a concern.
And of course, they are, like Arsenal in Champions League action this week. Yeah. They're going to have to juggle that again, aren't they?
Definitely. The squad is deeper, but at the same time, they need to get results in the Premier League, the bread and butter.
OK, Righty's going to enjoy the evening. Thank you very much indeed, Righty and Shay, for your company today. Well, what a weekend already at this early stage of the Premier League season. Liverpool on Saturday, conceding late and losing. Arsenal on Sunday, scoring.
Calm on the ball, play out. Very good. He's like a middleweight boxer. He's all top. He's top heavy in respect of his strength, all at the top end. Watch when he gets into when he's tight with him now, just the strength. Look, he's got him, and then the strength, and he's away, and he's playing. A top player for us in respects of pace, defensive. This is Doku. Caused Doku a problem. And I remember with watching him against Vinny Jr. for Real Madrid. Real top performance. He's one of our best players this season.
But Anthony Gordon can provide that spark for Newcastle, and they've missed him. Yeah,
the thing you would say as well, obviously he has had a 3-game suspension, Anthony Gordon, so again, you'll be a bit fresher. He's not playing every 3 or 4 days, and again, I think when you get sent off like he did against Liverpool, I think it's against Van Dijk, the challenge, he'll probably feel like he's let the club down, his teammates down a wee bit. I know it probably meant in good intention, he didn't really mean to get sent off, I don't think personally, but you still feel from a personal level that he'd be like, right, I have to put that right with the fans, with myself, and I want a big performance today. Obviously it's a huge game when Arsenal come into town, and again, in the last couple of seasons, you know, Newcastle have done really well against Arsenal, and I think if Newcastle are to win today, I think Anthony Gordon has to have a big game.
He scored, of course, in the Champions League in that period against Barcelona as well. Now, on the other side, to have Saka back, he's missed 15 Premier League games since his debut. They've only won 7 of them without him. I mean, he's an influence. He's got the armband as well today.
He's our talisman player. You know, obviously we're hoping that Eze can get that kind of recognition, and so we can have 2 of them in there, providing what we need to create for players like Gyökeres. But Saka being back, we've seen what happens when he's playing for us, how good he is, his creation, his goal scoring, what he does for us, and him up against Dan Burn is something that I'm really looking forward to, because I've seen that on a few occasions, and I know he's caused Dan Burn a lot of problems. So to see Dan Burn out there I was a little bit surprised, but at the same time, if we can get the ball there early enough and we can get him going at Dan Burn quick, you know, I know they're friends. You know, hopefully that you know, we can get something from that passage. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie understandably wasn't giving anything away. Why would he? But the way they've been warming up here is with a back 4, with Dan Burn in that position, directly against Saka.
Yeah, well, we have seen Eddie warm up like this before and then go to a back 3 as soon as the ref kicks off of her. But at the same time, you know, we would imagine this is going to be the back 4. And again, Dan Burn is one of them kind of players that really likes to get tight, really likes to sort of harass Saka, you know, but that can play into Saka's hands as well. You know, if he gets too tight, he can spin him. There's loads of space behind Dan Burn, and we know Dan Burn's good in the air and physically very strong. But when he comes to pace in a 1v1 situation, Saka will probably blow him out of the water. So again, the likes of Joe Linton in front of that, perhaps have to come across and perhaps double up on Saka, because he is a real threat.
And Eze's in, we talked about him in the first hour of the show when we heard his interview. Quite simply, these are the games he's signed for Arsenal to play in.
But this is why, you know, like I said earlier on, I don't know what I'd do if he wasn't playing in a game like this, because the importance of this game now and trying to get 3 points is enormous. And if you're going to pay for Eberechi Eze, then these are the games you want him to be playing in, because he can, like we've seen in his clips, he can give moments that can win games. And so you're hoping that he can have a good game and give us a couple of good moments, because, like I say, you know, to try and get, you know, to close the gap on Liverpool right now, I think is quite important. So as they know, and if we could do it confidently, even better, because then they know that they cannot slip up, because Arsenal are ready to take advantage of any slip-ups.
And Nick Woltemade starting in the Premier League for the 3rd time, scored on his home debut against Wolves, but this is a step up. This is a different calibre of game for him.
Yeah, it's a step up, obviously defensively as well. They're very strong at the back. Of course, Arsenal very strong in midfield as well. Getting the ball to him is going to be an issue. But again, we hope that we see the best of him. He scored in his debut against Wolverhampton, didn't he? You know, cross into the box and a brilliant header. If the delivery's right, if enough balls in the box, then he'll cause any defence problems, you know. So again, I think midfield's key today. I really do. Getting it up to Woltemade will be key. But I think obviously Guimaraes, Tonali and Joe Linton in the Newcastle midfield will be huge if they can boss, obviously, Rice, Zubimendi and perhaps Eze even dropping in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've